Hello everyone. In this new video of the series, we will learn how to build three things. The first will be the method to build the lap system. The second will be the method to build a system that shows your race position, not just for you, but also for the cars ahead of you. And the third will be the effect of changing the text at the start line depending on the number of laps. So, it will be an easy and creative video as usual. Let's begin. The first thing we will start with is the lap count system. So we move to the vehicle blueprint. As you can already see, we created this part in the previous video, and from it we will continue building the lap system. If you want to know how it was created, you can watch that video. After that, we create an integer variable for the lap count. We simply place it here. We will create a new widget to display the lap count. I will use a size box with a vertical box and place inside it two text elements, the first for the label and the second to display the lap count. I will organize things a bit here. I will edit the text name and also change its appearance. First, here we need a reference to the car. After that, we convert the text to a string and use append. The first input will be the current lap number, and the last will be the total number of laps. The total lap count is something we set, and the best place to create a variable for that is the game mode base, since it is the best place to control game settings later when the project is further developed. After creating a new variable there, we return here to get a reference to our game mode base and connect it, and we are done. Currently, I will set the total lap count to 3. Now we need to display this widget, but before that I will gather all the sub-widget tilde into a single main widget for organization. Okay, it seems the speedometer is not showing. We will return to it later. Now I remove the widget that was displaying the speedometer from here and place the new widget in the best place to display it, which is the player controller. Okay, let's see what remains. Yes, the speedometer. We changed the anchor and put it in the bottom right corner. Very good. Let's test. I will speed things up for you here. Good. It registered that we completed one full lap successfully here. By the way, if you consider going the wrong way, it will not count. I thought about that earlier. Good. This lap was counted as well. So here we have finished one part. Next, we'll be building the race ranking system. So we create a custom event here, and then we use get all actors of class. This will be the AI vehicle. By the way, if you didn't follow this series from the beginning, all the cars here are from a single blueprint. So we make it a variable and put it in a for loop. Before continuing, we need to make the AI car also count its own laps. So we copy all of this and put it into the AI vehicle blueprint. It will simply be a process of recreating the variables there. I will change the variable name a bit to differentiate it later. Before finishing, I will create a new variable called AI rank. That's done. Now back here. To calculate a car's position in the race, we will take into account the number of laps completed multiplied by the spline length and add to that the result of get distance at location, the location we obtain from here, to store the final result. We will create a new variable which is a map between float and AI vehicle reference. We use add and connect everything together. We bring the key and add to insert the player's info this time. We copy this from here to reuse it. After that, the most important thing is to sort the results descending and use a for each loop. First, we look for the player's result. If we find it, the array indexes the player's rank, and we put it into a new variable. Then we use find on the map variable, and from it we get the AI rank. When we finish all of this, we clear everything. We connect it to event tick. There is a very important thing, adding a delay. If we don't put a delay, we will notice a severe frame drop later. So it's better to update the ranking every 0.2 to zero point 0.5 seconds. After finishing here, it's time to link it to the widget. I will copy the widget we made earlier for the lap count. Okay, for the current rank, we will take it from player rank and add 1, because arrays start from 0 and not from 1. That is the reason. As for the total number of cars in the game, we will get it from all opponents and use length and add 1 to it as well. We just need to place it here and test. Okay, give me a moment. You might not have noticed, but there is definitely a problem. Although the ranking updates properly, when I approach the finish line, there is an annoying bug that makes me first immediately and then it reorders again. Let me check. Did we put this in event tick? It seems we didn't, so let's put it. Even after that, the issue persists. It didn't solve the problem. I will investigate further and come back to you. Okay, this took a full day, but I found a solution. First, in AI Vehicle, we won't need all of that, so delete them. Next, in BP Vehicle, where I made a big change, everything is the same here, but from this point, the change I made starts to appear. The first thing is number of lap, which used to be here before. For this entire part, I created a new variable called total point, with a default value starting at 2, and I made it increase alongside the point index. I will show you the changes I made in this way. One of the problems I discovered was that if you go back behind the start point in the track, you will be considered as if you completed the entire track and your position becomes first, and this was the cause of the bug that was happening. This leads us to the following logic I created. I built a system that swaps the current point we reached on the track with the next point, and of course I connected it to event tick. At the beginning there is no change from the previous system. We use the same logic, but this time with a new variable called control index. After that, in the same logic we add 1 to the control index, then after the increment we place it into next point and subtract 1 from next point to get the current point. And a final simple check. When we reach the end of the spline, we reset the control index. Then here we use the same logic again, but by subtracting 1 from control index first. This time we reverse the operation where we decrease instead of adding 1. And when we reach the beginning of the path, we set control index to 0. The remaining part here is just debugging to show the location of the points. Next, in car rank, I did not change anything here. The change was here. First, we left getDistance at location as it is, but we did not connect it directly. Instead, we used selectFloat, which I combined with the logic present here. Regarding the logic here, remember the problem we faced? I solved it as follows. I used selectBoolean, where the Boolean result is determined by this result, which simply tells me whether I have passed all the spline points or not. Basically, it tells me if I passed the points by going the wrong way. To detect that, I used it in only 3 places, as you see. Next, the function I made here, whose purpose is to determine if you are behind a certain point or in front of it. Literally the same previous logic reused, but I compressed it and made it a function to improve the overall appearance. The only difference is that I made the result either 1 or -1, where 1 means I am in front of the point and -1 means I am behind it, as we discussed at the start of the video. The rest stayed the same, and that is the only change. In AI Vehicle, I want to show you that I implemented the same change in the lap counting logic. That's all. So I will show a demonstration in front of you. Yes, everything works fine as you just saw, and the previous problems are completely solved. Next, we will aim to display the ranking of the other cars. This part is easier. Just put a text render above the car like this. I will use a custom event. We use set text, convert it to string, and use append. The value will be converted to the car's rank. In the second part, we use select based on the car's rank. We will add rank suffixes here according to the car's position. Finally, we call it an event tick. Let's try one last time. Yes, it works without issues. For the next and final thing in the video, we will set up the starting text here to display the number of laps and which lap we are in. At the beginning, we will definitely need a reference to our car. After finishing that, in the event tick, we perform checks as usual first to avoid any errors, and then from the text, we use set text. Keep in mind that I used the Text 3D plugin here. If you want to go deeper into what I did, you can watch the previous video here. So, as usual, we convert the text into a string and use append. The text in slot 2 will be lap. As for the first slot, we will use select on it. All right, we will need the total number of laps, so we will create a reference to the game mode. Simply and creatively, we check if the total number of laps is equal to the current lap. If yes, we write last. If not, we use select again, depending on the current number of laps, so it displays which lap we are in. Before we test it, it is fine to put index 0 as first as well, since we start at the back and with 0 laps. Yes, it is definitely working. It was definitely a tiring video and needs many fixes, but it succeeded in the end. The next video will be the final one in this series, and it will talk about making a map for the game in a way you will not imagine. I will also show you something you will certainly like. I am talking about a plugin I created myself for displaying the map. It is still under development, and that is why I released it for free. I also hope you tell me if you face any issues with it. And there is still more coming, as I will put everything we made in this series as a template on Fab, also for free. So do not forget to support me, guys. So yes, thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and take a look at the channel. You will find many useful videos for you.